everyone, it's time for Good Week Israel, where we'll bring you the most positive highlights from this week at ILTV. Get ready to smile because coming up, the future of space exploration is here. Students from Tel Aviv University preparing to launch a nano-satellite into Earth's orbit. We visit a village that illustrates the ancient way of life in ancient Israel. And finally, Israel Antiquities authorities strike gold in the Old City as they make way for a new Western Wall elevator. Stay tuned for the details. Companies all over the world are looking to make cannabis experience a more pleasant and healthy one, while making sure that it also stays hassle-free and fun. ILTV's Emmanuel Kadosh went to check out one company that's doing just that.
Believe it or not, you can actually smoke this toothpick and it will get you high. It's the new way of smoking cannabis. Trichome Shell is producing cannabis products that are completely changing the way people are smoking. I'm going to show you exactly what the hype is about and why it's the healthier solution for smoking cannabis. We have the mood picks and we have the power powder. Now let's start off with the mood picks. Inside of this toothpick, there's up to 100 milligrams of either THC or CBD, which is kind of taking away the hassle of bringing all of the equipment with you when you're smoking. For those people that are looking for an alternative and aren't interested in smoking tobacco, we have another product for you, and that moves us on to the power powder. Now, I have somebody here that is technically allowed to try these products for you because he does have a medical cannabis license. For someone that doesn't smoke for recreational use, you actually need, to smoke cannabis. What are some of the struggles or hassles that you find with it?
And sometimes it's really hard because when I'm sitting in the office the whole day for long hours, I'm coming back home and just want to smoke a quick joint.
And so that's, I think, what these, mood picks are kind of trying to solve for, for people like you who just kind of want to avoid the whole 10-minute process. So I want you just to try it out, see how easy it is, and see how simple it is just to take the toothpick and put it into the cigarette. Would this be something that would completely change the way that you smoke?
Game changer.
Game changer, right?
Game changing.
I know.
Because sometimes I need 2-3 joints to get the pain relief. In this one, it's only one joint.
So the second product is actually more of an alternative sometimes for people who don't want to smoke tobacco or don't want to smoke a joint.
Really?
Yeah.
Show me. Because sometimes in the morning when I wake up and brush my teeth,
I
don't like to smoke with my coffee.
Right.
And I want to keep my coffee in the same taste that I like.
I brought you coffee. I want you to kind of try it out, see how you feel. There's not supposed to be a difference in taste. Pretend Saturday morning, you're sitting, drinking your coffee.
It's the same taste. Exactly what I need.
Exactly what you need.
Exactly what I need.
Amazing, I love that. Yeah, it doesn't change your morning coffee vibe, but it will give you the pain relief that you're looking for, obviously, depending on the dosage, which you can determine for yourself.
If you're looking to change the way you smoke in order to get a consistent and healthier experience every time, you know what to do.
And now let's take a look at the ILTV interview with CEO and founder of Trichome Shell.
Now, as you may or may not have noticed, the international cannabis market has exploded over the past few years, and it's only getting bigger. One Israeli company, Trichome Shell, is now earning the spotlight with an all-new approach to cannabis products. Here to tell us all about them is Trichome Shell's CEO and founder, Guy Shibaz. Hi, Guy. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
So first of all, you brought in some samples of your product to share with us. Why don't you first explain exactly what you brought today?
Sure. So I brought 2 different samples, 2 different products. One of them is called Mood Picks, and what it is, it's basically a cannabis concentrate that we brought into a shape and a rigidity of a toothpick, so it looks like that. That's the packaging, and basically, so it looks like a toothpick, but
it really looks like a toothpick.
What it is, actually, you don't supposed to put it in your teeth, but you actually smoke it. It's a smokable product, and the way that the consumer use it is by just sliding it into a cigarette or a pre-roll. You get a consistent dosage of cannabinoids in each unit, so makes the whole ceremony of cannabis consumption way easier.
And what is the actual stick made of?
The actual stick made out of the cannabis concentrate.
Oh, wow.
We're basically taking a flower and reducing it into the shape of a toothpick.
Interesting.
So that's the idea.
All right, and the other product you brought with you today?
So for consumers that want to stay away from smoking, we also have another solution. We call it power powder, and it's a water-soluble powder made from, again, the cannabis concentrate. And again, we bring a very different approach for this market. And the idea is that, every consumer can now use this powder in their favorite beverage, so whatever it is. So it just makes cannabis consumption so much easier. You just put it in your drink. If you want to put one to get the 10 milligrams dosage, you can put one. If you want to get higher, you can put two. Exactly like you like to sweeten your coffee or tea. Now you can also implement cannabis into your life.
So obviously, these are really creative solutions, how to consume cannabis. How did you come up with these ideas? And, tell us about the beginning of Trichome Shell. Where did this idea come from?
So Trichome Shell is an Israeli-based company, and we basically created Trichome Shell to develop innovative products that will make cannabis way more accessible for the general population. I've been in the cannabis market for a decade now, so I've seen all the trends come and go.
And from way before it was as popular
way
as it is
before,
now.
from 2011, so way before even a single state in the U.S. Legalized cannabis. We saw that there's a very big opportunity that basically lies within the demographic that doesn't want to take part in this industry because they don't know how to approach it. So we wanted to bring a solution for them by making cannabis more accessible for them. And this vision is basically what brought us together and what brought us to develop all those products.
So what is ahead for Trichome Shell?
So Trichome Shell up to now, so we already completed all the development of both of those products, and we already have a few agreements signed with cannabis manufacturers in the US and in Europe. So the proof of concept is behind us. We're looking to expand now.
All right,
join us and grow with us.
I'm sure all our viewers wrote that down. Thank you so much for joining us, Guy Shibaz, and best of luck.
Thank you for having me.
And now we have some super cool technology news. Tel Aviv University students are sending a nanosatellite into space. But what is a nanosatellite, you ask? And what will it be doing? Well, a nanosatellite is, that's right, a mini satellite. And it's about comparable to the size of a shoebox. It's also therefore more affordable and more popular amongst researchers. And the goal of this research project is to calculate and monitor cosmic radiation exuding from the sun and other faraway celestial objects like galaxies. Cosmic radiation is known to be dangerous both to astronauts, satellites, and other electronic systems. And the findings of the experiments will help in developing better protection against space's harsh and inhospitable conditions in the future. All right, HBO is about to have another piece of Israeli history in its arsenal. The network announced it's working on a film about the 1993 Oslo Accords. The film, called Oslo, tells the story of the Norwegian diplomats behind the historic peace agreements signed by Yitzhak Rabin and Yasser Arafat, and it's based on a stage play. Directing the film is Tony Award winner Bartlett Sher, and there are several Israeli stars as well, including Sasson Gabay playing Shimon Peres. The project is now being filmed in Prague despite difficulties due to COVID, and it should hit HBO's streaming services by the end of the year. Next, ILTV went to check out a village that exhibits the typical lifestyle that our forefathers once led during the time of the Maccabees.
Each year, millions of people celebrate the miracle of Hanukkah, but what were things actually like 2,000 years ago, back when the story took place? The Hasmonean village in the city of Modin takes us on a journey through time.
The Hasmonean village exhibits the typical lifestyle that our forefathers once led in the days of the Maccabees. So today we're going to catch a glimpse into the day-to-day life of the ancient Jewish settler.
The Hasmonean village was founded by Zohar, who built this place with his own two hands and entertains visitors with an interactive tour exploring the story of Hanukkah.
Here we entered to the real Hasmonean village, which I reconstructed.
So when we're entering the Kfar, we could see 5 Maccabees standing in the entrance, right? What is the significance?
Because Matityahu, the Kohen from Modi'in, and his wife, we don't have her name, had 5 sons, Yehuda, Elazar, Shimon, Yochanan, and Yonatan. They actually led the rebellion against the Greeks for about 25 years.
Throughout the village, Zohar set up reenactments of the daily life way back in the Hellenistic era, during the times the Greeks were in power.
I put here two images of Matityahu, the father of the family, or the father of the five brothers, the Maccabees, meeting the Greek officer. Here I'm demonstrating the really first move of the rebellion, and even before the rebellion. As you see here, this is the one in the left, Matityahu, in his village. Looks very worried, and the Greek officer coming, and like a Greek officer with weapons, etc., and trying to convince him by force to sacrifice a pig for Zeus.
The Greeks wanted the Jewish people to convert to the Greek faith, a pagan religion with multiple gods.
And therefore Matityahu told him it will never happen, and then was a fight. And to complete surprise of the five sons of Matityahu, he killed the Greek officer, so he declared, Mi Lashem Elai, which means everybody who believes in our God will come with me. And they ran away, not there to the mountains of Jerusalem that we see very clear, because this was rather a sort of a easy access for the Greeks to come, but they ran a little bit more to the north, to the mountain of an area called Gufna, where is the town of Ramallah today. So this was their base for about the 25 years of the rebellion.
So not only could you see the story of Hanukkah unfold, but this is where it all began, historically, where we're standing now.
You are right, and the village that I'm going to show you just immediately is one of those hundreds of villages that were existing here in the time when the revolt became true.
Tell me more about the day-to-day life of the Maccabees.
Firstly, their day-by-day life was completely different than the other life of the peasants that we lived between them, because they were very much like rabbis. They were shepherds. They knew the area very well. When a regular peasant will be born and even pass away in the same village and will not see nothing in his life.
So was this an advantage that they knew the area so well in the time of war?
I would say more than advantage. They could not make this kind of war without knowing particularly each hill, each valley.
I want to know what the day-to-day life was like for the Maccabees.
Well, let's go and see. Natalie, we are near the ancient olive press.
Wow, so this is how the Maccabees made olive oil.
Exactly.
So how does it work? You just push it?
We just have to push.
Whoa.
We are the donkey of this morning.
Whoa, this is no easy task. So the Maccabees weren't the ones really here crushing the olives. They sent the peasants to do the work for them, right?
They were shepherds. They went with the sheep. They couldn't give their time to be completely affiliated with agriculture.
So what's next for us?
We can make coins, we can make pottery, we can feed the animals, we can write in ancient Hebrew, and more. This is one of the activities that we are offering here, coin making. Actually, we are demonstrating. And let me show you how it worked.
Okay.
The first stage was to melt the copper.
Okay.
And they set down here fire, and then they took the copper, which was completely melted, and they poured it here, and it got immediately cold. And the second stage will be to put it here in this kind of mold, steel-made mold, and to heat it rather strongly. And here you have the result.
The Maccabees became independent in 128 BCE and minted the very first Jewish coin of the Hasmoneans.
So this is really significant, the money is really significant because it marks the point of independence for the Maccabees. All of the structures that we could see here surrounding us in the village was all built by you?
Yes,
Only you?
Somebody had to do it, so it happened to me, that's all,
Well,
which is nice.
It's
isn't
really
it?
impressive, it's amazing. You
Thank
did
you,
a
dear.
great job. This really gives you a chance to share the story of Hanukkah. For Jews in Israel, I'm sure people throughout the entire world come here and visit to learn about the miracle that happened.
Yes, Natalie.
We really enjoyed our time here.
Accessibility is the new gold standard for designing in a modern world. And today, I mean that literally, as efforts to build an elevator in Jerusalem are rewarded with an incredible golden surprise. Watch this. An incredible discovery made by chance. A golden treasure unearthed by the Western Wall in Jerusalem amidst excavations to make way for a lift.
במסגרת ההכנה של השטח לקראת החפירה, הייתה כאן מפקחת בשם יבגניה, ששמה לב לפקית כמעט שלמה, כמה שברים פה ושם, שיושבת לה באדמה. היא שמה את זה בשקית כדי שזה יגיע למי שיעשה את החפירה פה לאחר כמה שבועות. הפקית הגיעה אליי כחודש לאחר מכן, וכמו כל כלי חרס לקחתי את זה לשטיפה, כי זה מה שעושים בחרסים. שוטפים כדי לראות ולתעד ממתי. אלא שהפעם חיכתה לי הפתעה קטנה, כששפכתי את האדמה שנשארה בתוך הפקית, יחד עם האדמה חיכו לי 4 מטבעות זהב, שנראות חדשות לחלוטין, כאילו שהטביעו אותם אתמול, למרות שזמנם לפני יותר מ-1000 שנה, מהתקופה האסלאמית הקדומה בארץ.
Now the coins date back to the years between 940 and 970 in the Common Era, when the power over the region was changing hands between the Sunni Abbasid Caliphate and the Shiite Fatimid dynasty. And the coins even reflect this changeover, with 2 of the gold dinars being minted in Ramle between 946 and 974, while the other 2 come from Cairo between 953 and 975. And according to experts from the dig, this is the first time in 50 years that a gold cache from the Fatimid period has been discovered in the Old City, with these 4 dinars alone equaling about 4 months' salary for a common laborer at the time. But finally, these coins and all other discoveries found in the area will be placed on public display once the new elevator project is complete. And finally, ILTV went to Zichron Yaakov to learn how to craft paper using all natural materials. Take a look.
Although Zichron Yaakov is known for its world-famous wineries, this unique town has so much more to offer. People are drawn here from all over the world, and today we're going to go visit a family business who offers a fun workshop in the heart of town. Hi, I'm Natalie.
Hi, I'm Timna.
Nice to meet you. I'm in love with this neighborhood. It's absolutely beautiful. I can't believe I've never been here before. I see that this whole strip here has private homes, but it's actually cafes, restaurants, shops. While today it's the main pedestrian street where people go to shop and stroll around, it was once the original street of Israel's first Jewish settlement. You guys live here as well?
We live here, yeah. We live here, my parents and their other neighbors, but mainly businesses.
Mm-hmm. How long have you lived here?
About 30 years.
Wow, so the neighborhood definitely changed.
Yeah, it was just a regular street, 2-way street, nothing but what you see now. Mm-hmm. And it's become like so fashionable now.
Yeah. Most of the homes have been completely restored, bringing out its original charm. So we're going to learn how to make paper today, right?
Right, that's what we do. Okay. We make paper. We've been making paper since 1986.
The Newman family got into the paper-making business in Japan, where they learned the trade.
So what you see here on both sides, this is the shop, the gallery, and this is the workshop. My son started when he was like young. He grew up with this, and that's what he does. He makes most of the paper. He teaches how to make paper. He sells, he makes his own art.
The handmade paper is made from the bark of mulberry trees, which was seeded in their own backyard, having been brought back to Israel all the way from Japan.
In the morning we went to cut the branches, and then we put it here for about 1 hour.
So now the branches are soft enough for us to use?
Yeah, now it's soft. So now I start from the thicker part. Mm-hmm. I make 1 hole here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because of the steam.
And what do we do with this?
This
is what we're using?
That's what we're using. Mm-hmm. If I open it, you can see the fibers here.
Mm-hmm. That's what we need.
That's what we need. We need the fibers.
Mulberry is ideal for paper making because it has the strongest and longest fibers. So after we're done peeling the branches, it gets cooked for a couple of hours.
So this has been cooked for 2 hours. Mm-hmm. So what we're doing, I'm going to take a mallet, pound it like this.
So this is separating all of the fibers?
Yeah, that's what's separating it. And after I make it flat, I have to fold it.
And start again.
And start again.
Submerging the fibers in the water separates them, which is a crucial step to paper making. And for those wanting to add a natural touch of color to the paper, have the option to pick some flower petals to add to the sheet.
So these are the geraniums. That's the best flowers that can be put in the paper.
It's a fragrant flower.
So usually the geranium is the best for the paper.
So let's pick this white flower.
Okay, so now we have to
pick off the petals of the flower.
Yeah, we use just the petals.
So we're mixing it up now. So soft. I love the feeling. I'm bringing this over to you now.
And I'm going to put it into the press.
Cool.
Wow, beautiful paper.
We still have to let it dry though, right?
Yeah.
Done. Now we just have to wait, right? I don't want to rip it. Amazing. This was really an amazing way to spend the afternoon. Thanks so much for teaching us.
And that's it for today's Good Week Israel. I hope we've helped you start your week off with a smile. I'm Nittany Manson, and I'll see you next week.